receptionist, what now? 11 a.m., check out. Might give her one foul, just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a mansion. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment.
Hey everybody, it's the Coach. This is a special edition of Wild Card Weekend on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns. So with that, let's get up to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. For the call, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, these fans have waited for this moment for decades, but playoff football has come to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Straight ahead, it's Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a great one in store between the New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. The intensity level will be off the charts.
It's that most wonderful time of the year, the NFL playoffs, as we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by the third overall selection back in 2018 from USC. It's Sam Darnold. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Darnold. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And nothing but daylight ahead. 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Jamison Crowder, 63 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it ends with a Jet touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick in the 2018 draft, the Oklahoma Sooner, Baker Mayfield. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
No. Regular. Slam.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Hey, alert! Twins. 57's the mic. 57's the mic. They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football. He's checking. Crash. Alert. Check. Real.
2nd down, Mayfield. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. That one good for 26 and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Just like that. Switch. Run. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Watch the safety creep.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Got double tight. Hey, alert 33. Four there. Chance.
On 2nd down, it's Hunt.
Get there.
He got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. And on your screen, the offensive starters, Jarvis Landry, a guy that we profile.
Love his game. Not only is he going to beat you with athleticism, he's going to outwork you as well. And look for him to hurt you also in the kick return game.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down.
Alert. Kill. Real. Bang. Hey, what's that?
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 24.
Check.
Mayfield to throw it. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham there to make the grab as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. So a one-handed catch from OBJ in the end zone. Not really surprised anymore, I guess. This is becoming routine.
Yeah, isn't that something? And we have to be careful ourselves, right, about treating it as only routine because it's still spectacular to go up one hand, possess the football, whether there's contact or not, to come down and create that play. That's absolutely phenomenal. And one way it happens, these guys work at it. They practice these types of catches all the time.
And he practices it all the time. You see his pregame routine. We were down there today. It's unbelievable.
It absolutely is. And now the stigma of looking like you're showing off is really gone. Now it's actually part of the game.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They just did manage to sneak into the playoffs as a 6th seed, so it's a tough road ahead. They would need to win 3 games on the road in January, but there's 20 other teams who wouldn't mind being on that road.
You're exactly right about that. But your point about how daunting this is well taken because it all depends on their mindset now. How do you break it down so that you're not looking at this whole big road and say to yourself, we've got no shot. You break it down to this game right now, win that one, then worry about the rest of them after that.
And that's exactly right, and the staff told us that. They've been focusing with the players on don't look ahead, but that's hard to do sometimes, is it not?
It is hard to do because the ultimate goal is to do what? Is to win a Super Bowl. So you have to look ahead a little bit, but you make sure you focus on the game at hand.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 49-yard line. No gain on the dump off. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They'll run it with Bell. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now it's Darnold. Complete. He finds Braid. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. These 2 teams all tied after 1. The Jets with the football here to start the 2nd quarter as they've got it 2nd down and 12. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Darnold now to throw. And break. The tight end's got it. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more. I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. The kick by Joseph is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Check 13. Check 13. Point it right. the whip. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, and you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
You gonna see me and you're not smooth. 57, Mike, 57. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Hey, pistol. 24, check 24. Watch out.
On third down, Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
The Browns send out their punter now. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on third down. They'll try and run for it with Bell. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's Darnold. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. The number 1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That's good for 28 yards. A reminder coming up at the half, as we've done all year. We'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin on the road to Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now a draw play. This is Bell. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made by Demarius Randall. Throwing here on third down, Darnold. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 18.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Darnold from the red zone now. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's Darnold. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. The Jets on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Again, Darnold. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they'll get him down short of the first down, right on the 10-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. The kick by Joseph is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like that?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
The Browns drive about to get started. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Getting ready to go into the half, give them a chance to take a deep breath, exhale a little bit, and start over. I don't know if this is the time to push it myself.
Yeah, right now under 100 yards of total offense. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Hey, orbit. 54. In your face.
Right there. 54. Right there. 54, Mike.
Focus, defense, focus. Kill. Wide. Get wide.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
57's the Mike. Hey, Charlie. Wild Bill. 57's the Mike. Watch 57. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go.
Hey, watch it.
Watch the twins.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Run.
Mike spot 4.
You. Hey, Alpha. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch pistol. I'm coming after you. Mike's 54. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Up. Check 49. He's coming. Run. We got double up.
From the gun, Mayfield. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. They've got his man complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham in the final seconds of the first half. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT.
Partner, you got a pretty good hoops background. You've seen those late-in-the-half plays designed to get them a last shot, give them momentum. I think this touchdown equates to that.
Absolutely, and then they can take the lead here into the lockers. Big-time play.
Yeah, and let's see what they design coming out for the second half as well. Oftentimes when you get that momentum late, you find a way to carry it through.
So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
52's the mic, boys. 52.
A final shot before the break. Darnold. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Beckham and the Browns set to take over again. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
On first down, Grant. Oh, he's got some breathing room. A big play that time for Cleveland. 46 yards on the ground. Well, hello. I mean, it took him a while to get him a rep, but that's quite an introduction to this game.
And not just hello. How about goodbye to the defense as he went past him? Big-time run on his first carry of the game.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. He'll buy some time right. That is caught inside the 5. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. Call that a very strong gain of 24. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
On second down now. It's Grant, and he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Corey Grant taking it in. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead is up to 8. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. On second and 12, Darnold out right here to Herndon. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Bell. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Bell, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
That's complete. It's Bell. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Check 25, check 25. King.
On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. A scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A game there of 30 big ones. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ball game.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Hatchet. He's crashing.
They will run with Grant. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Brian, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. Regular. Check 31. Quick dance. Come.
And he's got some space here. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. 44 yards. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right?
Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. He was looking for Quincy Enunwa that time, and that'll bring up second down.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from it. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's Jet football, but they trail here as we start the fourth quarter. From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On second and 9, Mayfield under a heavy rush, and down he goes. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Here's Grant. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a fourth down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Good starting position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10. Darnold on first down. This one caught by Crowder. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Jamison Crowder. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end win the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
57.
Hey, Haywood. Come on, G. Watch twins. Watch twins. Hey, alert, 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 alert. You got tight right there.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And this is caught. He hits Landry. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run on 1st down. Grant. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear. Point it right, point it right, point it right. Check 37, check 37.
Mayfield to throw. On the move to his left. Caught left side, it's Beckham. Odell Beckham Jr. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. That's a prime example of the danger that Baker Mayfield presents when he's able to get outside of the pocket.
And we see many quarterbacks do this in the league. A lot of them have that good mobility, but we see them, they're more like striders, right? There's a smoothness to them. When I watch Baker Mayfield, everything is sharp, hard, aggressive, and he turns it into a big-time shot downfield and a monster play.
That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Sam Darnold in the offense, down by 15, a little under 1:50 remaining. It's certainly a tough situation on the road, needing 2 scores to stay alive in the play. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And the pressure gets to him again. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Myles Garrett, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance. And what else could go wrong at this point? This is going to be a defensive touchdown as they keep piling it on. So a great play there by the defense. If these guys are going to advance, and it looks like they will, this defense a big reason why. And they love carrying the mantle for this team, don't they? You see the way that they move around out there? They want to lead this team deeper into the playoffs and hopefully onto the Super Bowl. And that return for a touchdown certainly helps that cause. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Now Darnold, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And a tough turnover there, as now they will have it at the 6-yard line, 1st and goal.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
Check 9, check 9.
This is Grant. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it's scooped up by the Jets.
Pardon me, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
To throw is Darnold. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Darnold. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
They've gone to the 4th quarter now in Dallas, and the Cowboys have wound up winning that football game. Another victory perhaps in the cards. They're looking as good as anybody as the playoffs draw near. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, "Is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore," because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know when a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time, but it's going to be 2nd down. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the 1st quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Check. Up. Run. Hey, Zoo.
54, right there. 54, Mike.
Here we go. Hey, watch that. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
So instead of running, Mayfield's going to throw it here. Going to throw deep for the end zone. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Watch the ship.
And again, it's Mayfield. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. Throwing, Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Well, look, this is a team, Charles, they faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division, but they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game, a message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
Getting into the playoffs is one thing. Now they get to move on. Just 8 teams left.
The dream stays alive. Everyone's gunning for the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate. But you have to get there in incremental steps. One win today gets them 1 step closer.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more,